it's Kyle here, and for my review today I'll be discussing a book that is extremely different from the other books I reviewed in the past. The title of the book is Sophie's World. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the author's name because he is Norwegian, and I'll probably badly mispronounce his name, so I'll list his name in the video description in the sidebar. So if you want to go to your local library or bookstore and get Sophie's World, you can get the author's name out of the video description to help you find it. Now, why did I say this book is extremely different than the ones I previously reviewed? Well, for one, as I mentioned, the author's Norwegian, so this is, if you're like me, this is the only Norwegian book I have ever read. So that makes it different. But then the nature of the book itself makes it very, very unique. This book can really be classified as a novel about philosophy. And there's not many books you can say that about, so that makes it extremely unique in my opinion. If you're really into philosophy, I'll say you'll really enjoy this book. If you want to learn more about philosophy, you'll really enjoy this book. The book really starts out with philosophy from the ancient Greeks, and throughout the plot it works it up to modern philosophy. So it's almost a complete overview of philosophy. So you'll really enjoy it if you're in philosophy and want to learn more about it. But at the same time, if you're not in philosophy, don't let that scare you off, because the book has a great plot that if you hate philosophy or you have no interest in philosophy, you'll still enjoy the book. It's just, I think if you're really into philosophy, you'll enjoy the book in a different level. But let me tell you about the plot of the book, To Sophie's World. I'm sure as you can guess, the main character in the book is Sophie. She's a 14-year-old girl who lives in Norway. And one day her world is completely changed when she receives this mysterious letter in the mail that asks some questions that are very philosophical in nature. And then a couple of days later, she receives a packet of info that kind of helps address the issues raised by the previous question. The first question starts out raising questions that deal with philosophy with the ancient Greeks. And as I said, she keeps on receiving these packages throughout the book, and it moves throughout the history of philosophy. The weird thing is, she didn't ask to receive these packages. They just started coming in the mail. But eventually she begins to really enjoy it. She gets really into it. She enjoys learning more about philosophy. She really feels like it's expanding her horizon, and she's seeing her world in a completely different viewpoint as she learns more about philosophy. Eventually she learns the gentleman who's sending her these packages is a philosopher himself named Alberto Knox, and he's a very mysterious character, and I'll get more into him later. But at the same time Sophie's receiving these packages from Alberto Knox, she also starts receiving letters and packages from another mysterious character. This is a UN peacekeeper who's actually from Norway, but he's stationed overseas. And the first thing he sends Sophie is a postcard to his daughter, Hildy, and it's in care of Sophie. And he basically says in the postcard, Hildy, Sophie will get you this postcard. The problem is, Sophie doesn't know anybody named Hildy. She doesn't know the guy who sent the postcard, so she's completely puzzled. She has no idea what to make of this, and she keeps on receiving more and more stuff from this guy. And as she gets more and more stuff, it becomes more mysterious, because it seems like this guy really knows Sophie really, really well. And he starts to describe stuff that hasn't happened yet, then it happens. It almost seems like this guy almost has like godlike powers over Sophie's world, and he really affects how she experiences life and what happens to Sophie. And Sophie's just really puzzled by this. She doesn't know what to make of this. And he keeps on saying, Hildy, you and Sophie will be so great friends. Y'all be great. Y'all change each other's life forever. And Sophie's just befuddled by this. And eventually, Sophie and Alberto Knox, the philosopher, actually meet, and they start interacting. And Alberto, he's completely befuddled and puzzled by this mysterious UN peacekeeper who's stationed overseas, especially the power this guy seems to have over Sophie's world. And so Sophie and Alberto devote a large part of the book of trying to figure out, this mystery. Who is this guy that's sending you these packages, and how is he controlling your world? The novel has a very, very fascinating, and I think a brilliant way to answer this question that I think most people won't see coming. It's a great plot twist. It's one of the better plot twists I've ever read in a novel. A lot of times authors kind of give away what the surprise ending is going to be. This time I think the author did an excellent job of hiding the surprise until the very last second. So like I said, the plot is great because it keeps you guessing the entire way. How is this guy controlling Sophie's world? What's the answer to all these questions that are being raised by the novel? And at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, if you're into philosophy, you'll really enjoy the book for the added reason that this author gives a great overview of philosophy. Then again, like I said, if you're not into philosophy, don't let that scare you off. because the plot of the book is fascinating and very interesting. So I strongly encourage you to go to your local library or local bookstore and get Sophie's World. Again, I'll have the author's name listed in the video description. I think you'll enjoy the book. It's a great read, and I hope you get it.